Okay, welcome back to Case Closed Anime Review, episode number 82. Yep, first episode of this review series, first time in almost 2 months, and the first new episode of the anime, first time in almost 4 months. Yes, 4 months since the last episode aired, which was a canon episode, though this one's a filler. Mainly the reason why of the fact there was a long delay between episodes because of the stupid pandemic. Yeah, and I had something in my head thinking, okay, with One Piece came back this past Sunday, Fire Force, One Piece just resumed after being gone for about 2 months. Fire Force basically starts season 2 this week. Okay, so I knew that Boruto was gonna start tomorrow. And Black Clover's resuming tomorrow. Well, Boruto's resuming tomorrow, and Black Clover's going to resume Tuesday. So I figured, though, is Case Closed back? And the answer is yes, it's back. And it's a anime original episode, yep, called The Wife Search Secret. Yep. The episode starts off with this original character, the only person in this episode, named Hitsuki, I think it's the guy's name, where he's basically asking around people seeing his missing wife, and all of a sudden it starts raining, and then he runs into, just by sheer coincidence, Ram Mori just happens to come by, yep, and so does Conan, yep, just by sheer coincidence. Now, if you hadn't watched the series since the pilot, you're probably thinking, wait, what's up with this kid? Well, unlike in the case of One Piece, where when that came back, you had a 3-minute recap, not in the case of this one. Nope, there's barely any mention of what happened in the previous arc of the series. Yes, in case you're wondering, how many chapters has it been since they left off where they left off in episode 74? It's been almost 40 chapters. Yes, almost 40 chapters, which means that we could see possibly a canon episode coming soon. My guess is this episode was probably supposed to air probably the start of April if delay hadn't happened. So, Ram brings her father, and he explains exactly what happened. That they're preparing for the upcoming wedding anniversary. How long these two married for, they don't really say. And he basically had a reservation at this fancy restaurant. And it's going to be the next day. He goes to the restaurant, and doesn't show up, and apparently she's not been home in 3 days. So basically, and after Rand talks to her father briefly, she disappears. She disappears for the entire rest of the episode until like the post-credit scene. Yep. So Richard decides to go out and ask around. Conan decides to go with him just cause what? And he says, well, people are more open to him if he brings a child with him. Okay, so like this is perfectly fine. I mean, for when they show the actual neighbors, they say they were talk to the wife's coworker. Her name is Tamaki. Her name is. They don't talk to her coworkers. They just talk to the neighbors, which is perfectly standard police. Let's just say police procedure. Investigating neighbors. There's some arguing that possibly gonna kill you. By the way, the argument was basically faked. Yeah. So, and apparently not finding much of anything aside from the fact that, well, from people who are in front of the house, like in front of him, like his next neighbors, yeah, they get along perfectly fine. And the people behind them have a completely different story. The fact these two have been arguing, and the fact they threatened to kill each other. Well, he threatened to kill her. Yeah, and it was neighbor lived directly behind her doing it. And then as soon as they had to finish talking to the neighbors, all of a sudden, Inspector McGuire and Takagi show up. Because of course they do. Yeah, anytime involves a murder, like, okay, the only two reasons why these two are here is because a murder has happened. The only time these two don't show up if it's not a murder is if one of the officers goes missing or it's a special occasion. That's the only reason why I can personally think of they would have these two show up. It's nice to see them, though Inspector McGuire does do his usual thing at the end of the episode. We'll get to that. So, they get a tip that apparently that the husband killed his wife and buried her in the backyard. Where did they bury her? Where is supposed to buried him? Apparently, the anonymous tip said, in this little dirt area, dig up here. How the heck would this person even know that? And after digging for just a little bit, of course, it's not home. It's a nice looking home. It's like you don't really see very much. Like outside, looks like a pretty decent looking house, and I would say it's quite big for a couple with no children. Yeah, because no mention these two ever had kids, and they find the body of the guy's late wife, and he's shocked to see that. Conan basically immediately is like thinking, though, wait, like, why would he want to kill his wife and then basically claim to go missing for him? And yeah, and then Conan does some snooping. Something, despite the fact Richard Moore is supposed to be an investigator, he doesn't like doing his job at all. Nope, it's up to Conan to do all the work. Yep, finds out that the shrubbery's been disturbed. And then all of a sudden he takes out his trusty bow tie. Yep, his bow tie is back. And he knocks out Richard Moore. The Sleepy Moore. Yep, first I haven't seen that in several episodes. So, knocks him out and explains what really happened. Turns out the argument was a fake. Yeah, they were actually practicing for a Shakespeare play that I've never heard of. I've heard of many Shakespeare plays. The one they mention here is like O-L-L-O, like the way they spell it here. I'm like, I have never heard of this play at all. But it could be described as the Caesar's tragedy one. That could be possible, but it's never really dealt upon. It's like the fact they fake arguing in the course to go by a river that one neighbor has mentioned that they were near, which I don't know if this is a rare river in Japan or not because I didn't look it up. So, and it turns out the person who actually really killed Tomoki was the guy's neighbor right behind him. The reason why is utterly stupid. Okay, the reason why she killed her, and they've revealed this. Okay, the shrubbery had been disturbed, and the fact she got scratched on her legs and her hands. Yeah, the reason is really, really stupid. You want to know what the reason why she killed her? Because she dared cut branches from her own tree in her own yard. And she gets so upset, but she basically climbs into her neighbor's yard and then stabs her. Now, apparently they mentioned in the show that apparently stuff like this is basically more vicious and basically lawsuits, but not to the point where full-out murder. And apparently she was also not only that, but also jealous of the fact that these two couples living very happily. I'm thinking, that's the reason why you killed them? Out of pure jealousy and envy? Wow, woman, you're so stupid. And the husband, it was going to take a show and whack her basically for killing her husband, for killing her, not her husband, for her killing his wife. And look at McGuire steps like, no, don't do that. Your wife won't be happy. And fine. And the woman gets arrested off screen. And then after the credits, we have Richard Moore just happens to come across a beautiful woman looking for a cat. All of a sudden, 4 people actually looking for like one of the last missing dog. I think there was a missing cat, and the guy looked for a missing fish. And Rand shows up at the end and says, "Oh yeah, you take them all, probably for to get paid." And that's where the episode ends. Now I did look it up. Apparently, despite that we just came back, in like basically after going through 3 straight months of reruns for people who probably watch this in Japan. Once again, we have another rerun. Yep, another rerun. What rerun next week? Well, it's a rerun of episode 143, which I think is from the at least 4th season of the show. Which I'm like, really? Why would we have a rerun of this for? Yeah, it makes no freaking sense at all. I mean, okay, when the last chapter they left off in the anime was actually chapter 1017. The manga recently released chapter 1054, which was almost 2 months ago. Yeah, actually, it was like a little month ago. I think this is from season 3 or 4. I'm not really sure which season it's from. Let's look up here. This is from season 6. So, a repeat from season 6. Just because. Okay. Yes. I'm sure probably Case Closed fans in Japan are basically like, okay, we finally got a new episode. First time in 4 months, and next week, rerun. Probably because they don't have next episode ready. That's my personal guess. So, if there is going to be a new review next week, probably a review of probably newest chapter of the manga. If there is one, if not, don't worry about it. Okay, so, yeah, that's pretty much it for this particular review. My next view, if it happens today, probably a review of my review for One Piece. Aside from that, there's like no video really planned for today. This was like I had a hunch that this basically was going to come back today because other shows were resuming, so why not this one? And my hunch was correct. Yep, my hunch was correct. Yeah, but it's like, okay, you bring the show back and you doing a rerun next week. Why? I have no idea why. And you know what's quite stupid about this series? There's barely anything in the new anime news about this series. I mean, it is the longest running anime airing in Japan right now. And here's the thing. There is barely any news about it. All the rest of the anime I watch, they get plenty of news. Not Case Closed. Nope, not this series for some reason. I have no idea why. They just, well, felt like it. It's particularly quite stupid. That's why I don't like about this. That's the only thing I don't like about Case Closed is the fact there's barely anything in the news about it. Because Case Closed, well, is probably, for some people, they probably think the anime's dead due to the fact the dub stopped about 10 years ago. But that was Funimation's fault for not basically for doing a poor job with it. And of course, the reason why the dub was canceled due to low DVD sales and low ratings. DVD sales, there's a theory I have because Funimation at times charge way too much for their anime, though I get for referral price from Walmart. But in the case of the low ratings, that was Cartoon Network's fault. Funimation had nothing to do with it at all. Look at their own streaming service, but did they bother to renew the actual license? Nope, they never did. And here's the thing. If you type up this series on the Funimation website, you will get nothing. Absolutely nothing. There is nothing about Case Closed on the website. I'm sure you can find Case Closed on probably like Amazon, like in one of like the volumes of the manga, or like any of the previous seasons released dubbed, or any of the movies. But on the Funimation website, nope. Not this series. For some strange reason, I have no idea why. But that's the way it is. Yep. But the series is good. It's just that it's so long. Yes. And unlike with One Piece, I don't have a problem with it because a lot of the series have been dubbed already, so not really a big problem there. The problem with Case Closed is that only the first 135 episodes have been released dubbed. The rest of the series? Nope. Yeah, and I know there was a petition launched a couple years ago to get the dub resumed. It went nowhere. As far as I know, it went nowhere. I would love it if the dub actor was to come back to show the finishes. I mean, they don't have to redo the whole dub. No need for that at all. Just pick up where you left off. I mean, the Case season 5, I don't think it'd take it too long. It's only like 11 episodes, and from that point forward, shouldn't take you too long to get some of the seasons done. Just basically get certain people you want done first for these episodes, okay? So yeah, that's particularly it for this particular review. Stay tuned for my next review, which will be One Piece. Talk about Drum Kingdom, okay? This video. Bye.